Welcome to Carting Truth Podcast, a father-daughter duo focusing on sharing revelations through conversations with the Lord. Let's get started with today's episode. Is this thing on? Are y'all still out there? That's right. Welcome to Carting Truth Podcast. I'm Lindsay here with my dad, Shane, and the rapture did not take place over this week like a lot of people said that it was going to, especially on YouTube. Now, we have voiced our beliefs on that, and that the Lord showed my dad the rapture would not happen until the day of the Lord, which is after the tribulation. We're going to talk a little bit about that today, and a vision, a prophetic vision my husband had about the end times and things that are coming up. We have a lot for you today, and we are so glad that you're here.
Yeah, Lindsay, no planes flying out of the air and car crashes and missing people this week on the 23rd and the 24th, which is not scriptural anyway. And that just shows you the frenzy of people who are believing that we're going to get out of here pre-trib. I mean, it's just a frenzy. And that's what we're doing this podcast for. And, to give a heads up on what else God has told us to tell them.
Right.
But that's not going to happen. It can't. It just can't happen. It's not that we're misunderstanding or mistaken about it. It cannot happen. And we went over that several times in several different ways. Job 14 says it can't happen.
Right.
Hosea says it can't happen. 1 Thessalonians 5:2 says it can't happen. Acts says it can't happen.
Revelation says it can't happen.
Revelation says it can't happen. The parable of the wheat and the tare says it can't happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just constant. But still, people will not let go of this false doctrine. They just won't let go of it. And, the Lord told me it's going to happen 23rd and 24th. Well, that tells us a lot of people's not hearing from the Lord, right?
That's right.
'Cause it didn't happen. And we're not just trying to beat up on them. We want you guys to be ready for what's going to happen.
Yes.
Which we believe, and now we've gotten even more evidence from your husband's vision that next month.
Mm-hmm.
And also via the UN, we'll talk about that today.
Yes.
But the rapture cannot happen, according to Jesus, John chapter 6, verse 39, till the last day.
Right. And I think that's a reason that the Lord literally visited you in 2023. The whole reason that we're here today, I don't even think he knew what a podcast was. Maybe you did, maybe you did. But when he said he wanted to start a podcast, I was like, what are you talking about? Like his generation isn't really the podcasting type. I didn't even know if he knew what it was. But he said, the Lord visited me and told me the people don't know what time it is. Will you tell them? And you agreed.
He didn't ask me. He said, you have to tell them.
You have to tell them, because a lot of people are going to be confused when we don't get raptured, and they're going to question everything. And this video, the last videos that we've done have to be out there for people to be like, you know what? It wasn't supposed to happen. He didn't fail.
No, he doesn't fail. And we have to be here for the harvest, which is starting now. We'll talk about that too with Charlie's passing. How that's starting to ramp up.
Oh my gosh, it's like I've never seen before in my life.
But first, let's get into your husband's vision. I'm excited about that.
I'm excited. He gets visions. I know it said, what does it say? Young men will dream dreams. Old men will see. I guess he's maybe an old man. I don't know. I'll just tell him he's got a couple gray hairs coming. So maybe he's considered an old man. But this is his second vision on the end times. And this is huge for him because he's a very
conservative
person that's a little bit more questionable on things like this, but the Lord gave it to him. And it's like, okay.
That is what's so amazing about him. He's so, he's so conservative and will not, try to bring light to himself in any way.
Right.
For him to come out and start telling us these things.
Yes.
What better person for the Lord to pick for these visions he's been given than your husband.
Yes.
So let's go into it. You want to tell the vision?
You tell it because you knew exactly. And I had a hinting of what it meant, but you knew more than I even knew about this vision.
Well, before we go into the vision, let's go into the verse that I quoted him. Because as soon as he told me the vision, I said, "Oh, you're just quoting the verse."
And he didn't remember the verse.
He didn't know it was there.
Right.
So let's go over into Isaiah and read what Isaiah says, and then we'll tell the vision, and then you can see it so plainly.
Okay.
And then we'll explain some other things about it, all right?
Okay.
So we're in Isaiah chapter 24. We're going to start with verse 19, and we'll just read out the rest of the chapter. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed as a cottage. And the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall, and not rise again. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. They shall be gathered to the pit, as prisoners are gathered in a pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall be visited. The moon shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed, when the Lord of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, and before his ancients gloriously. So, what does that have to do with the vision? Well, what he's called and said to me
Okay.
is that he went into this short vision, and in the vision he's seen the earth, and he said it was spinning, but then it got into a wobble.
Right. Awkward.
It got awkward,
Mm-hmm.
and he said above it appeared a golden compass, and he said he watched the earth spin and wobble, and then finally it shot off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what this passage we just read is saying that because of the transgression upon the earth, right,
Mm-hmm.
which is via the tribulation period, right? So once Satan gets power for his 42 months and he starts destroying, the transgression will raise on the earth.
Okay.
Because it'll actually be hell on earth. That's what'll happen. So as that happens, the earth starts losing its balance, like a top. You know, when a top's rolling around and then when it starts slowing down,
Yeah.
shortening
Right.
of the days,
Mm-hmm.
it starts wobbling, right?
Okay.
So I'll try to put a chart up here. So it goes through this process, and what causes that wobbling to take place is the sun represents God, the Father,
Mm-hmm.
right? It says in the Psalms that God is a sun, right?
Right.
And because we're pushing God out of the way, what we're doing in the spiritual world during that time starts happening in the natural. So when the fourth trumpet blows, so the sun was created on the fourth day,
Right.
right? So each trumpet attacks a third of what happens on the day it was created. All right. So on the fourth day, the fourth trumpet takes out a third of the earth. So that starts the process of the sun diminishing. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So you remember when I talked to you about seeing Jesus in the TV?
Yes.
Remember
yeah.
the sun came and then it darkened?
Right.
That's representing being pushed away, God being pushed away. That darkening of the sun, even in the tribulation, is representing that we're pushing God away. Because what happens in the middle part of the week, the tribulation starts, right? So then the fourth trumpet, which would be after the fourth year, blows,
Right.
takes out a third, so it diminishes the sun by a third. It's pushing God out.
Right.
So when it does that, it's going to take a effect on the cosmos, on our solar system, because the mass of the sun will start changing. All right. Well, that's what Michael was seeing. He was seeing the earth starting to lose its orbit and its spin because the sun was starting to go out, because we're pushing God away. And that's why the golden compass appeared up there, because gold represents kingdom metal. God's saying, look at the kingdom, don't look at the earth, because the earth is going to fall, according to that verse we just read.
And I love that. Compass is directions.
Yes.
Direction. So it's like, keep your eyes on me.
Get,
Not on this.
get your directions from heaven.
Right.
Don't pay attention to what's happening on the earth. Amazing, amazing vision. And he wasn't aware of this. I mean, he may have seen the episode while we talked about, but
Right.
you know that sometimes you don't absorb everything you see.
No, I told him the second he told me this, I was like, did you see our episode that says the Earth will come out of orbit? And he watches them, but it's that we've had so many at this point. He's like, I think so, but I don't really remember. I was like, watch that episode. And I know we're going to reiterate some things here, but watch that episode because it's exactly what it talked about. Where there is a verse, the Earth will go to and fro. It tells
And remove
everything.
like a cottage. Well, a cottage is your house, so it'll be removed like a house. Like the earth is going to no longer be your house. So it's very, very descriptive in his vision what's going on. So, but what causes that to happen is this physical manifestation of a spiritual truth that we're pushing God away. That humankind, the earth, is pushing God away. And when you do that, things come out of orbit. Things come out of their order. Remember we talked about the order of God?
Order of God. It
Things
doesn't
start
balance.
falling apart because we're departing from our source.
Yeah.
Our source that holds us in gravity, right? Holds our feet to the ground, keeps everything stable.
Yes.
Well, what's going to happen? There's going to be terrible earthquakes and everything during that time. But so the fourth trumpet takes out a third, right? And then the fourth vial makes the 2/3 that are left go nova. That's why it brings about great heat and scorches men. Because when you got a third of it gone, right? And I really believe that the third that is darkened will be facing the earth, so that when the vial is poured out and it brings all this heat into the earth, that it won't completely destroy us because it's not completely facing us. Because we're not facing God. Remember, it's the ironic blessing, let your face shine upon us.
Oh.
I'm not saying God is the sun. I'm saying the sun represents God as the source.
Right.
That's what we're looking when we say the Son of Righteousness shall come with healing in his wings. And in Psalm says, God is a sun. He is the illumination.
Right.
That's what the word sun means. It means the illumination. So we got a third of it going out with the trumpet. We got it, the rest of it going nova, I believe, based on the fourth vial, right? And then Matthew 24:29 says, immediately after the tribulation shall the sun be darkened.
Right.
Well, when the sun goes dark, that's when Jesus says, men will have fear in their hearts for looking upon the things that are coming up on the earth, because the power of the heavens will be shaken. So when the sun goes out, that's when it says when it'll wobble to and fro and come out of its place. You know, Isaiah 13 says the earth will come out of its place. And this passage says that the earth will be removed. Well, removed from where? Removed from orbit. Why? Because the sun has diminished, which is what Jesus showed me in the first place, is that the sun is going to start diminishing, and we have to tell people. And here we are again, telling them about another vision that he's showing us. It's coming, people.
It's coming. Like, I've never believed it like I do right now. Over the last few weeks, it's like so clear what is happening and that we are seeing the harvest start.
I know it, and that's what his vision was. It's saying the earth is going to become unstable and come out of its place. And that's what that verse says too.
Right.
And it's because of the process that we're fixing to go through.
Right. Yeah.
So the thing is, the rapture didn't happen, right? And your husband has this vision, right? And Charlie has been shot, which was like a shot around the world now, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable.
The shot heard around the world.
Yeah.
Now, what this has happens here, and I keep getting this in my spirit, is that Charlie was bringing about a revolution to go back to God, right?
Amen.
And now that this has happened, I believe that harvest of young people that we was talking about, you know, the harvest is the first part of the 70th week, which is the wheat harvest.
Yes.
I believe he's what's starting it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, that God can bring something out of a tragedy, but you know he only would if it would do something like this. You know he would have only allowed that if something like this would have broken out, and he's going to receive all that glory. And Charlie is in bliss right now. So I mean, they're both, you know what I mean? It's just a win-win situation.
And I want to say something because his wife, her speech, wow, to say that she forgave.
I forgive him. I forgive him because it was what Christ did and is what Charlie would do.
Wow.
That was the biggest, and I was kind of waiting on that because that's a trademark of Jesus, is forgiveness. And you can see it manifested through her, but I don't know if she will ever see this or ever will know who Carting Truth is. But I'm going to say something the Lord has put in my heart. The book of Joel says that when the locust comes, he will redeem the time. So when we look at her and we think, oh, what a sacrifice, God's going to redeem that time too. Whatever you lose, people, this is very important. A lot of people have hurt souls because of this, because you have dreams and things that don't happen, right? Mm-hmm. And you think, oh, they can't happen now. Don't put God in the box. The book of Joel says that God will redeem all the things that the locust has devoured, even time.
Because he can do that.
He can fix even the time. That is a healing word for your soul. It's healed me several times, but the Lord, that passage in Joel, read the book of Joel. There's 3 chapters of it, all right? And it talks about this locust that comes and eats up his people.
Right.
Their stuff, their food, even their time that they put in to grow the food.
Right.
And God basically says, I'm going to redeem all that back. That's an awesome thing. When I seen her say she forgave him, I thought she is going to get all that she lost.
And then some.
Then some back.
All the time his children lost with him will be given back. All the time she lost with him will be given back.
As if it never went away. God will put it back.
That's amazing. I'm so glad that you said that.
I know it. I felt that. I felt that the Lord was really putting that in my heart to say today.
Yeah, I hope she sees this one day.
It's not just her. It's anything you have out there that's a godly dream and he's put the desire in your heart for. You will not lose it. He will redeem the time. He will redeem it back. So don't think that you can lose anything if you belong to him. You can't lose nothing because he doesn't withhold anything that's good.
So right.
And that can only be true it cannot be true unless he redeems everything. All right. So something else that we had prophesied is the pressure. I told you the pressure was coming about the 2-state solution.
Yes.
We had prophesied that for a long time, and everybody's like, oh, that's dead.
That was one of our first ones, our first prophecies.
Yes, and Israel's saying it's not going to happen. The United States is saying it's not going to happen, but the rest of the world says it is. So this pressure, even upon our country, is coming, and this will keep building. Now, there's something that's going to come into agreement. That's Daniel chapter 9, verse 24 through 27. Verse 27 says that there's a covenant that the Antichrist, the son of perdition, the man of sin, will strengthen. And it has something to do with the Palestinians. Now, we call it the 2-state solution, and that's what the world is pushing for. But there'll be some kind of an agreement. I don't know exactly what it is, but it will be in a way that Israel will say, well, we'll accept that in the United States, all right? And the pressure's coming on Israel already. I mean, the UN voted, right?
Right, yeah.
And now these allies of the United States, like Canada, like France, UK, these guys are all coming out and saying, yeah, we want the 2-state solution. It's the only thing can happen that can work. Now, it doesn't work, and it won't work this time. Whatever the agreement is still won't work, because it says when they say peace and safety,
Right.
then sudden destruction comes. So they're going to think it's going to work, whatever's coming. And I keep saying it's a two-state solution, and that's what the world's saying. But there's some kind of agreement coming wherein the Palestinians and the Israelis will come to some kind of agreement wherein that I don't think the Palestinians will be in power over their state. It won't be Hamas. It'll be some other force or some other agreement that will step in and allow this to work for a short period of time, and then it'll fall apart, because that's what the middle of the week does. That starts the tribulation, is the falling apart of this agreement.
Because then the temple's built.
Right. In that agreement, they'll be able to build their temple.
And then the Antichrist will show up.
And the Antichrist will show up, and
everything goes berserk.
well, he will confirm it for 3.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
He'll strengthen it. I don't know that he creates it. It doesn't say he creates it. It just says he strengthens it. So there'll be that's what's swelling up right now, and I think that's what's coming in October. Is he's going to appear to solve this problem, because that's what the world's saying right now. I mean, that's everything you see is trying to solve that problem, right?
Right.
And the pressure to solve that problem's here. And that's what we kept saying, to two-state solutions coming. The agreement, whatever that entails, that causes the Antichrist to appear and come up with the solution is coming. And I believe it's going to be in October. And I think that's what Michael's other vision about.
Right. If you haven't seen his other vision, he had a vision about these women telling that something's happening in October.
They were sitting under the temple gate.
Right, the temple gate.
Yes.
They were saying it's in October. And
in the same night, I got the Apophis word, and you back it up 3.5 years and you're in October also. And then he called me that next morning. So that thing in October, the solution, I think the Antichrist is going to show up in October. I really do.
You do. I
really
do.
This. Well, I mean, he has to show up to strengthen it. He has to be the one that kind of comes up with the idea, or he confirms the idea. One of the two.
Okay.
But there is a solution that's going to come. Now, it will involve the Palestinians having something, right?
Yeah.
And they're already voted that they have a state. And they're already in the UN, the state of Palestine.
Right.
And Gaza is not going to be part of it, because Zephaniah says they're going to forsake it.
Right.
So, and it says, be gathered together, O nation not desired. So I wonder if it's going to have something to do with those settlements that they're going to put in the West Bank's going to now go into Gaza, and all the Palestinians will be in the West Bank. I'm wondering, because Zephaniah says, gather together, O nation not desired.
Leaders this week that you would not allow Israel to annex the West Bank. And is that something that you
I will not allow Israel to annex the West Bank. No, I will not allow it. It's not going to happen.
Did you speak with Netanyahu about this directly?
Yeah, but I'm not going to allow it. Whether I spoke to him or not, I did. But I'm not allowing Israel to annex the West Bank. There's been enough. It's time to stop now, okay?
And they were separated, Gaza from the West Bank, right? And now they're being pushed out of Gaza. Could it be that that's what Zephaniah is talking about? Hey, you guys are going to come out of Gaza and go into the West Bank, because the West Bank is a bone of contention right now.
Right.
Israel's saying, no, we're going to settle it, right?
Right.
So if they get the West Bank area to settle in, and that becomes what it takes to pacify them, because, they don't want a state.
Right.
Palestinians don't want a state. They've never wanted one. They want Israel. They want Israel as their state.
Right. Yeah.
So, but Zephaniah saying, gather together. And then it says Gaza will be forsaken. And that's what we're seeing right now. Gaza's just a mess.
It's just a pile of rubble.
And it's still being destroyed. So those people come out, where are they going to go? What if they go to the West Bank? I'm just telling you, there's something going on here. So I don't know how this is going to exactly develop, but I know in my spirit that this is going to develop. So that's what's going on with the UN. They're out there preaching a Palestinian state.
Right.
Right.
Now, what is the thing that I've been seeing floating around about them dividing Jerusalem or dividing Israel?
Well, I don't think they'll divide Jerusalem. I really don't.
Okay.
There is a passage in there that says that Jerusalem will be divided, but don't think that happens until the 3.5 years, the last 3.5 years, which is the tribulation starts. I think that's what divides it.
Okay. I was seeing some videos going around about they're trying to do that, and I was just like, wait a second, this has to mean something.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
it
know.
eventually will, and that's what I think will make the wheels, come off the cart whenever the Antichrist goes in there and says he's God, and then the Jews have to flee, right? And then it says in there that they don't get cut off from half of the city. So there's a lot of passages in there about that. But anyway, that pressure's hitting too. All right.
Mm-hmm.
It's just right there, just like we started last year talking about, right? The other thing is, Israel has voted that the walkway between the pool Siloam and the temple, they opened it.
Oh.
It was closed. So they opened it. So that's telling you something right now. So when you have a temple, you have to have a mitzvah, which is a place they go in to cleanse.
Yes.
And then you have to have a walkway from the place that they get cleansed to the temple. They opened that walkway.
Opened that, and there wasn't one before. Oh.
It was there all along, but it wasn't open. So they went ahead and opened it. They were going through and looking through and, sifting through it, doing the archaeological stuff.
Right.
But now they've got done with that evidently, and they opened it because I seen a video where they'd opened it. And also the red heifer came to pass.
Yeah. So you need to go back and kind of we hadn't talked about that in a while.
Well, what happened was this, is the Lord said, while I was watching a video about it, he said, that's going to happen. I mean, it was very strong impression. So I was like, oh, this is going to happen. And then in that impression, I don't know if you people know, when you get a word of knowledge, sometimes you hear that word. I say you feel the word.
Right.
But there was this spring thing that was in there, and I automatically thought that it was going to happen in the spring. So I said it.
Right.
I thought that's what he meant by that.
Mm-hmm.
But what actually happened is in the spring is when they decided which one they were going to sacrifice. Then they sacrificed it in July. The spring would end up in the 21st. But what the Lord was giving me impression is they're going to select it in the spring, and then they're going to sacrifice it. Well, I got confused about what he meant by that. I thought, well, they're going to sacrifice it in the spring. Well, they didn't sacrifice it. They chose it. Now, here's the debate, okay?
Okay.
So the Old Testament says it can't have a spot. Mm-hmm. Okay, it can't have had a yoke put upon itself, right? Mm-hmm. It can't have a blemish, right? So what is a spot? Well, you've seen an animal that has a spot, like a Holstein cow.
Right.
It's got patches of different colors, right? Mm-hmm. Well, one hair can't create a patch. Actually, two hairs can't create a patch. And guess what? They didn't have magnifying glasses, as far as I know, back then there to go through every hair.
That's true.
So how did they used to inspect it? Well, if it says it doesn't have a spot, I had a dog named Spot. He was white, and he had a big old black spot on his back, right?
Right.
That's a spot.
Right.
Not two hairs, but that's a spot, all right?
Okay.
So this cow only had two hairs. So that ain't a spot.
Right.
I mean, you have to get a magnifying glass to even find a discolored hair. Mm-hmm. Well, they did when they didn't have these magnifying glasses. Do you think that the old priests of old were carrying around magnifying glasses looking at these cows? No, he was just saying it shouldn't have a spot. It should be all red.
Right.
It shouldn't have a blemish or any kind of wound or anything like that.
Right.
That would disqualify it.
Yes.
Right? Shouldn't have ever had a yoke put upon it. Well, that is Old Testament. You're done.
Right.
So what the Jews do is they come and they start trying to make traditions out of this stuff, qualify it to the point that it's not even what God intended in the first place. Right. Well, that's what some of them says. Oh, it has to happen on the Mount of Olives. Well, it didn't happen the first one. They weren't even in Israel when they did the first one. It didn't happen on the Mount of Olives. They didn't have magnifying glasses, so they couldn't see if there was two hairs.
Right.
So that gets to, does it have a wound on it that you can see with your eye? Right. or has it ever had a yoke put up on it? Right.
Mhm.
Well, this cow that got sacrificed, none of that.
Met all the
It met all the qualifications, and that's what these guys are saying. This thing was kosher. But then you've got the other sect, just like the Pharisees and the Sadducees, it says, no, wait a minute. You can't. You got to go by these oral traditions too.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other ones that say, no, God said do it this way. So that's where the rub is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what if they don't sacrifice another one? This one meets Numbers.
That's true.
Numbers 19.
They have the ashes already.
Already got the ashes.
It might have been their secret plan the whole time.
I really believe that they'll try to do another one.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
I believe they will. I mean, they believe they will. So I think that's going to push them.
Mm-hmm. But if they don't?
But I'm not so sure. I'm really actually positive that they didn't violate anything with the first one. The first one should be kosher.
Right.
And that's what they're saying.
So maybe they'll decide that.
They may do it.
And then
if that part of the people's argument prevails, then they can use what they did.
Right.
Because it says spot. It doesn't say 2 hairs.
Right.
It says a spot, a dot,
So
a patch of hair that wasn't red. Well, there's not a patch of hair on this cow that wasn't red.
Right.
They may have had a hair or two that was a different color than red, but that's not a spot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you stay back and you pick that out. I mean, God's doing it where it's obvious. He's not saying it. And I don't know how they could ever check the first one. When did they make magnifying glasses? Somebody find out, put it in the comments.
Magnifying glasses. I'm sure Siri or Alexa or somebody knows that.
Right.
But yeah, and just to put this out there, we are not saying that we agree with any of this.
No,
but it's going to happen.
It's got to happen to fulfill the scripture.
Mm-hmm.
So our agreement is that the scripture must be fulfilled.
Yes.
Not that we're telling you to use the law to try to get to God. That's not going to work. Mm-mm. The law brings about death.
Right. But it's been written and it's going to happen to fulfill the other things that are going to happen. And so in my opinion, you basically got, especially if they use that one. I mean, even though it was selected in the spring and then the summer by a couple weeks, they sacrificed it. That was pretty close. I mean,
well, when you get words of knowledge, sometimes even the person that gets them don't understand them completely.
Right. That's why you tell other people and they can interpret.
Right. That's what it said. When you prophesy, you're supposed to prophesy to other people and let them interpret it.
Yes.
But the spring flavor I got, I found out is that's when they chose it. Mm-hmm. And then they actually did the sacrifice. What was it, July 1st or 8th or somewhere in there?
It was very close to we said the end of spring was the 21st of June. This is the first day of summer. So the 20th would have been the last day of spring. It was a couple weeks after that. It was close to spring.
My strongest gift is the word of wisdom, which is interpretation. Mm-hmm. The word of knowledge gift, I hadn't had it as long. So I'm not as exercised in it. And you do have to exercise in it. You do have to exercise in it. But now I'll be more cautious. But I knew there was something about spring, and spring is when they actually chose that heifer. Yeah. That's when it became kosher, was the spring. And they actually did the sacrifice in July.
I'm going to say your word of knowledge gift is strong. Personally, I've never really seen you completely miss anything. Maybe a little different than you thought, but throughout my 36 years, the things that you've told me, even though I've been no, have ended up happening. So I think that that's a nice bonus gift that you have.
Well, I'm just trying to do it. Those gifts are given to glorify the Lord, not the person.
Yes.
I just want people to be ready, and that's all I'm after.
Amen.
Because my reward's from the Lord, not from people.
Yes.
They can't give me eternal stuff. Only He can. And I want the eternal stuff, not the temporal.
Right. Just be obedient.
Even though we do appreciate you supporting our channel, some of you guys have given us offerings. It's allowed us to advertise.
Push our videos out, buy new microphones and equipment that we just really wouldn't be able to have done.
Yeah.
So gosh, we're so thankful. Thank you so much for those. Those were just not expected, but totally a blessing.
So yeah, Lindsay, we stopped Revelation 6. We left them hanging. So we had to put this out. You know, we had to.
The rapture was believed by a lot of people to happen this week. There were so many videos. I'm going to pop up a clip of or a collage of a couple. You know, you type it in and there's just thousands of videos. Like this is one of them was called "This is 1,000,000,000% going to happen."
Yeah.
And here we are. So,
What gets me is the scripture. We have so ignored what Jesus said. This is the Father's will, that of all that he has given me, I'll lose nothing and will raise it up the last day. We're ignoring him. We're just saying, oh, no, it's going to be way before the last day. It's going to be, 1,260 days in the first part of the week, 1,290 days in the second part of the week, 2,550 days. If it happens within that week at any point, it's not the last one, right? Because we've got the day of the Lord. We got the millennial reign that has to take place, which is 1,000-year day, which is the last day. We're just ignoring him.
right.
We're ignoring him to get this done because we don't want to help with the harvest and we don't want to suffer.
Well, and here's the thing. After seeing what happened to Charlie, it kind of ignited something in me that is like, you know what? Like, I know he didn't feel a thing, which was medically confirmed as well. But I'm thinking, you're not going to touch the sting of death is gone. Like, why? If you, have seen all this about him and what happened to him, like, I'm so blessed that I get to be a part. And you know what I mean? I'm not saying that.
Went on to a great reward. Being a martyr is one of the greatest rewards you can get because Jesus said that there's no greater love than somebody that would lay down their life for their friend.
Right.
And Jesus is Charlie's friend, and he laid down his life for him, right? And we've got to lay ours down too. I mean, what about all these other people who are losing their life? Right?
Worldwide for believing, like, you know what I mean? You're exactly right. And what an honor it would be. I'm not saying everybody's going to get martyred. I'm not saying everybody's even going to be here the whole time. I know you had a dream at the 3.5-year mark. You don't know how, but that you're going to die. And so the Lord gave you insight on that. So I don't even know, but oh my goodness, it just ignited a fire in me to be like, yes, we can do this.
Yes.
We can do this.
By the grace of God, we'll be able to finish our course,
Amen.
Run our race, just like Paul did, just like Peter did, just like all the other disciples giving their life.
Yes, and Charlie knew. That's why he wore I think he wore like a bulletproof vest and stuff. He knew he was a target and he could get martyred at any point in time. And he was like, it's worth it.
Yes.
It's worth it.
Well, we know that God redeems the time and we're not going to lose anything, and he's taken away the sting of death. Right. So we've inserted this in. We'll pick up on our Revelation 6 study next time.
Unless the Lord has
the Lord stops us again.
I want to see you in heaven.
Just confess your sins. Make Jesus the Lord of your life. Abide in him and walk with him, and you will live with him forever.
If you are enjoying the content and would like to support our ministry, you can do so through Venmo or PayPal. Our handle is @CardingTruth, or use our QR code.
Episodes before, the rapture will happen after the tribulation on the day of the Lord. He will pull us up and we will meet him in the air. He will pull out everything that's his. But until then, no rapture videos, anything on YouTube is going to happen. We are so thankful that you are here with us today. We want to thank our subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed, we would love if you would like, subscribe, and click the bell for more notifications. Drop us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. We love to hear your feedback. We read those. We try to respond to those, and they are such a blessing to us. We have so many more revelations to come, and we hope that you'll be here with us from Carding Truth. We pray that you are blessed.